Morning everyone, or afternoon I should say. It is Sunday and I wanted to show you Avon's True Color Cream Concealer. Avon has 3 concealers, and as many of you know, I do not like to spend a lot of money on makeup. I've worked with many brands, especially at beauty brands, over 50 brands of makeup, and the ones that were $50 versus the ones that were $10 or $20, really there's not too much difference. So I use Avon because it's affordable. If anyone ever comes out with a natural makeup line that is in the $5 to $15 price point range, I would totally use it. But natural makeup is so expensive, like $40 a foundation, and I'm just not willing to spend that much. So anyways, their concealers, they have 3 options. They have a stick, which is an oil-free cream concealer on a stick if you like to work with a stick. And then this one is a lightweight, breathable blending cream concealer, giving you about a medium to full coverage. And then they also have a full coverage wand, which I haven't gotten yet. I will order with my next order. Because typically I don't like working with wands because they're wet and you have to do a lot of blending, whereas with the cream, it's pretty easy and blendable. But I do need full coverage the older I'm getting, so I'm going to try the wand. But these are on sale right now for $8. And all of their foundations, their powders, concealers, anything of a base is buy one, get one half off. So you can get 12 bucks for 2, base products, whether it's concealer and powder, concealer and foundation. So that's a great sale going on. So I'm going to show you how to conceal. You can have 2 options. One is to use your finger, simply dipping it in and putting it on. And the other is to use a concealing brush, which I find to be a little bit time consuming, but if you've got the time, you can use a flat concealing brush such as this, dip and apply with that. So I'm going to show you how I conceal, and I do this after foundation. You'll see a lot of people doing it before. I feel like you put your foundation on, when you do it after, it moves the concealer around and wipes off what you just did. So I get that even full coverage all over, then I go in and conceal the areas that need it. So starting with your eyes, you want to go on the inner third. A lot of people make the mistake of concealing all the way under the eye, and that's not necessary. You only need to go where it's dark. So these inner corners, for me, everyone has dark little pockets here and here too that you don't see straight on, but you see from the sides. So I just put on a teeny bit with your ring finger because it's the gentlest. You don't want to tug around the eyes and cause more wrinkles. So I'm kind of patting and blending. And then for me, on the outer corner of the eye is getting darker. Conceal there. And then I'm going to go over my nice little scar here from skin cancer, and then fill in all these little scars from acne. I have lots of pitting from having cystic acne in high school, and I do have one zit right now on my nose. I'm going to just kind of cover that. It's not too ahead yet, not ready to pop. And then lots of chin scars. So a lot of people tell me I have really good skin. The truth is I really don't. I have a lot of scars. Struggled with acne my whole life, which is part of why I got into skincare. I was on Accutane in high school, Retin-A, all the acne drugs. You can see all this leftover scarring. So when you're concealing pitted scars, you want to match exactly or go a shade lighter because light pulls out. So it gives the illusion of plumping out those pitted acne scars. If you have a raised pimple or a large cystic pimple, you want to, there's one hiding under my chin, you want to match exact or go a shade darker because going darker minimizes the size or pushes back. So a little bit darker will flatten the zit, a little bit lighter will pop out the pock marks. With concealer. With foundation, it's always good to match exact, or if you want to go a little bit darker, just make sure you blend well along the jawline. So that's it with concealer. Not bad. You can use it for brown spots, which I have a couple here. And they're starting here and here from sun damage when I was younger. And then I'm going to go in, oh, and by the way, that concealer was medium light. I find, or light medium, everything by Avon tends to be a teeny bit darker than what you would think in the picture. So if you're unsure, go a little bit lighter. And then this color for powder is just medium, which I also find to be a little bit on the dark side. And that's okay with me with powder. And I'm using Avon's powder brush. You don't have to spend a lot on brushes. I've had brushes that are super duper expensive, and they're no different than brushes that are $2.99 to $5. So why not try Avon's brushes? If you want something a little bit fancier, Avon has a brand called Mark, and those brushes are silver. They're a little bit more appealing to the eye if you want a prettier brush, but I just go with the basic black ones usually, unless the other ones are on sale. So this is how you get a light finish with powder without looking too cakey. Powder is very important with oily skin.
Where's the glass cleaner?
That's my husband. It helps to set the foundation and keep it from slipping.
Clarice, I need the glass cleaner.
The Windex is in the kitchen.
Thank you.
If you need a full coverage powder, you want to use more of a sponge on the skin. And you're going to pat it into the skin. Pat, press, and roll. So I do that in the T-zone after I do that light dusting. And this is called setting your makeup. It keeps it staying put and from slipping. Now if you have super dry, oily skin, or I'm sorry, super dry skin, and you want to look more moist and dewy, then skip powder. Just do foundation and concealer. However, your foundation may not last all day. So this is how you get full coverage, lasting foundation. And then at the very end, if you have any pimples that are peeking through, which I don't see today, but I usually do, you can take your finger or a sponge and go back into your powder. And this is later in the day too. And this is like another little blending thing. And you can pat it just right on those areas. Instead of reapplying concealer and foundation, you can just re-pat on the acneic areas that sometimes after 5 hours you'll start seeing some redness again. So the 3 steps are foundation, conceal, and powder. If you have beautiful young skin, say you're in your 20s and you don't need to worry yet about that, you can just do concealer and powder. I did that up until the last couple years, just because I don't like the feeling of all this makeup on my skin. But as you get older, you might need a little more coverage and have to do liquid concealer and powder. So right now, buy one, get one half off. Thanks, guys.